Someone asked me what the backwards words were in the decision outcome page of Life is Strange, so I decided to do some digging. If you flip the image, make the brightness go really far down, and up the contrast a lot, you'll be able to read what it says. It's actually Latin, in the form of a lorem ipsum. A lorem ipsum is supposed to be filler text, so people who are writing things can put it into something that you're not really supposed to read so it doesn't distract you and try to make you look at it. Newspapers often use them as temporary space fillers while they're in the editing process, and graphic designers use them for tiny little text that no one's supposed to be able to read. So ha, Mari, you've wasted your time. False. I did not waste my time, because there's a translation. And whether this translation is relevant or not, it was fun to learn, so I'm gonna teach you. The lorem ipsum has been used since the 1500s for its purpose, and it is derived from a very old Latin text, Cicero's De Finibus Bonorum et Malorum. I don't speak Latin, just give me a break here. And that translates to about the purposes of good and evil, or on the ends of goods and evils. So, about good and evil. The most concise translation is, neither is there anyone who loves, pursues, or desires pain itself because it is pain. The full translation for the passage is, but I must explain to you how all this mistaken idea of denouncing of a pleasure and praising pain was born, and I will give you a complete account of the system, and expound the actual teachings of the great explorer of the truth, the master builder of human happiness. No one rejects, dislikes, or avoids pleasure itself because it is pleasure, but because those who do not know how to pursue pleasure rationally encounter consequences that are extremely painful. Nor again is there anyone who loves or pursues or desires to obtain pain of itself because it is pain, but occasionally circumstances occur in which toil and pain can produce him some great pleasure. To take a trivial example, which of us ever undertakes laborious physical exercise except to obtain some advantage from it? But who has any right to find fault with a man who chooses to enjoy a pleasure that has no annoying consequences, or one who avoids a pain that produces no resultant pleasure? On the other hand, we denounce with righteous indignation and dislike men who are beguiled and demoralized by the charms of pleasure of the moment, so blinded by desire they cannot foresee the pain and trouble they are bound to ensue. An equal blame belongs to those who failed in their duty through weakness of will, which is the same as saying through shrinking from toil and pain. These cases are perfectly simple and easy to distinguish. In a free hour, when our power of choice is untrammeled, and when nothing prevents our being able to do what we like best, every pleasure is to be welcomed and every pain avoided. But in certain circumstances, and owing to certain claims of duty or obligations of business, it will frequently occur that pleasures have to be repudiated and annoyances accepted. The wise man, therefore, always holds in these matters to this principle of selection. He rejects pleasures to secure the other greater pleasures, or else he endures pains to avoid worse pains. You can decide for yourself if this is actually related to Life is Strange's story or not, or its themes or whatever, but in the end, I tricked you into learning something today.